I'm Anthony Birch. I'm a writer at Gearbox Software.
I'm Steve Mander-Jones. I'm a gameplay designer at 2K Australia.
And we're here to show you Nisha, or Nisha, depending on how you pronounce her name. I don't know. I kind of just looked it up online. And this is Borderlands, the pre-sequel. And she was the sheriff of Lynchwood in Borderlands 2. She strangled Brick's dog and killed a lot of innocent people, and she dated Handsome Jack. And now she's a playable character because we wanted to push the boundaries of how heroic or not heroic a playable character could be in a Borderlands game.
Who doesn't want to be a total bad guy?
Yeah.
Or bad girl.
Yeah, it's fun to be a bad person. So let's talk about our action skill, Steven.
Yep. So let's jump into it. So Nisha's action skill is Showdown. Basically, Showdown is short duration action skill, turns her into a badass gunslinger for the duration. While it's active, she will automatically lock onto enemies with her aiming and gets a whole range of gun bonuses, so damage, fire rate, reload speed, as we can see here. It's super cool. You can use it just not with normal aiming, or if you go down iron sights, you can sort of flick between targets and just hit them in their critical locations. So we'll jump into our skill trees here. First one we've got is Law and Order. This is sort of a defensive melee-based kind of skill tree. It uses a stacking mechanic here called Order. She generates these stacks as she takes damage, so she definitely wants to be sort of up close in the fight with this one, because that buffs up the order stacks, which also sort of work with some of her skills further down the tree as well.
She likes pain.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's cool.
This skill is really cool as well. It's called Wanted. Basically, as people damage her, they get these wanted stars above their head, up to 5. And if she then damages people with wanted stars, she consumes the stars and does all this extra damage to them. So it's kind of like this revenge skill. It's really fun, and you can sort of, like, if you're getting smashed up in a fight, it's sort of this visual indicator as to who you should kill. You see people with 5 stars, you know you want to hit them.
What's this one do?
This one just sort of makes her order stacks even stronger, so whenever she gets above 10 stacks, she gets all of these bonuses that get even stronger as she makes more stacks. It's a really strong skill.
That's a whip she has. What does her whip do if you get the capstone of this?
Yeah, well, Nisha's close combat weapon is a whip, as you said, which is really cool. It's a cool weapon just normally. Like, it's got longer range, it sounds cool, it looks cool. And the capstone of this skill tree is a melee override that gives it this cone-shaped shock burst of damage when she does it, and that damage is increased by her order stacks. So, you want to get in there, start taking damage, hitting people, and then when this builds up, you hit them with that, and it just, will kill 3, 4, 5 guys in one go.
Neato. What's this one about?
This is the Fan the Hammer skill tree. So this is a heavily gun-based skill tree. Lots of sort of high mobility, fast shooting, short range skills. Some nice buffs to Showdown in this one as well. Like, she can get the one just above this, Ruthless here. As she gets kills during Showdown, she extends it. So if you're really killing tons of dudes that are just rushing you, you can have like these really long showdowns. It's really cool. There's kill skill here called Short Fuse, does explosive damage while it's active, so you do more explosive damage if you're close to the enemies, so you really want to be in their face blasting them with, pistols and stuff like that. Pickpocket is cool as well. Since you're sort of up close, you don't have to stop to reload. You literally run out of bullets, hit them with your whip, and that steals some bullets from them, loads them into your gun, and you can keep going.
That doesn't make sense.
Because games, Borderlands.
Correct.
We mentioned pistols because the capstone of this skill tree is this one for each of you, which basically whenever she uses a pistol, she gets a copy of that pistol in her other hand, which is kind of awesome, and there's some really cool gun combos you can do there.
But how is that different from gun zerking in Borderlands 2?
Gun zerking was an action skill, and you could only use it for whenever the action skill was active, but this is all the time, so if you've got a cool pistol, you can use 2 of it as much as you want. During Showdown, out of Showdown, all the time. That
seems bananas. What is this about?
This is the Riflewoman skill tree, which, as the name implies, is heavily rifle-based, so assault rifles, sniper rifles. But it's not your traditional sniping skill tree. It actually has a lot of bonuses to firing from the hip, so you can sort of be running and gunning, and your accuracy isn't going to be terrible. You can still be, critting people and headshotting and doing fine without using iron sights. There's some cool skills as well. Like, it's not necessarily an elemental based tree, so like this one, Hot Lead, if you're not using an elemental gun, your crits will now ignite enemies, so you're sort of encouraged to use Jacob's guns, which obviously suit a lot of these skills a lot, and they're never elemental, so this skill obviously is a great pickup if you're using those kind of guns. Some cool skills like this one, where if your bullets miss, they will ricochet off towards enemies, so it further offsets the need to use iron sights. And it again plays in with the capstone here, which is called the Unforgiven, which is super cool, so your bullets ricochet more. And any enemies that are damaged during showdown will explode at the end of it. She'll pull out her little detonator and set them off. So somehow if anyone survives showdown, they're then going to explode, and they're probably not going to survive that because it does stupid damage.
Chris, you were going to pick one of these capstones. Which one, Steven, which one do you want to see?
The dual... no, let's check out Law and Order. I think
Right.
we should have a look at the whip, because the whip is cool. So we'll grab Wanted, so we got those Wanted stars going on. Lots of these nice order buffs. There's lots of skills in that tree that get stronger as she takes damage, so if she's on low health, she does more damage. She definitely wants to be in the thick of the fight. And yeah, the showdown extending one is great. Anthony, do you want to give us an idea of where we are in the story for this one?
In the story right now, we are in a mission called Intelligences of the Artificial Persuasion, and we are going to find an AI that will help us build a robot army. We have a bunch of constructor bots and steward bots and a bunch of boring-ass little manufacturer dudes on our space station, but they can't hurt anybody, so we're going to go find an AI that will allow them to hurt people. Neat.
That's the Thunder Crackdown. And we can see our order stacks sort of building up here. You can see it's up to 10 down the bottom of the screen.
Now, how does the Thunder Crackdown get affected by order and effect order?
I think it's 10% extra damage per order stack, so we didn't have many before, so if we can get another one off soon, it's going to be much stronger.
You should fire again. There you go. 28 order stacks.
Yeah,
if you
so
can whip somebody with it, it'll hurt a lot.
The order stacks will be lost if you sort of go out of combat, but if you're in combat, they'll stay.
Chris failure successfully with the ground. Well, we can at least show off your action skill, correct?
Yeah, we should definitely have a look at that. So here we are in Showdown.
And he killed them literally so quickly you didn't know what happened.
Did.
It's okay. The thing about this showdown skill is that it only lasts 6 seconds at its base duration, but its cooldown is only 16 seconds. So it's actually, unlike Wilhelm's drones, something you want to use all of the time.
Yeah, like it's so quick that you just pop it as soon as you find a few bad guys, and you don't need to worry about if you've wasted it or anything like that. So you can see the crosshair is locking onto them there, and you've got all these accuracy bonuses, so you're pretty much landing every shot. And we've got a nice skill as well, I think it's Rough Rider, where your slams do more damage, and every time you slam, every enemy it hits gives you 5 order stacks, so it's a great way to...
oh yeah, you just got 10 order stacks from hitting those two.
Yeah, so with the cap...
Yeah, you should just keep slamming and then use your whip.
Yeah, so with the cap being 30, it's a great way to, get a good...
Oh, here we go. Now whip them. Oh, weird. Oh, slams are so neat. And your whip's back up.
And Showdown just makes them very dead.
Yep.
One of my favorite things about Showdown is discovering all the gun options that have interesting interactions with it, because you can use it with any gun, and often I've come to realize that the best choices with it are not the ones you would necessarily think. Obviously like a Jacob's pistol or something like that is really cool with it, because you just switch Showdown and you basically fan the hammer on your controller, you just mash the buttons as quick as you can. But there's some really cool other stuff there as well, like burst fire sniper rifles, for example. You might headshot 3 guys with a single button press.
That laser gun he had was very interesting. Is that a normal laser gun?
Yeah, do you wanna grab that one out again?
He wants to try to hit that barrel.
There we go.
He did it!
Yeah, so we have a legendary laser gun here that it's a blaster type laser, which is one of our normal types when you have a dual barrel. But you can see some weird stuff going on here, and you can see the shots are actually homing in on the target after he hits it, which it's a legendary that is a bit of a tip of the hat to a certain movie, which I think a lot of people will catch on to.
If people haven't seen that movie, then I don't respect them.
And that's totally fair.
Chris died, so I don't respect him.
That looks awkward.
That's the most unfortunate death I've ever seen.
Yeah. Nisha is very flexible.
Oh, look at this. What's going on here? Story.
That looks like story lasers.
Good old story lasers. Story lasers are going to destroy Elvis and
We need
many
a new
of us
plot
alive.
point here. How about story lasers?
What if a story laser happened? That's really all it takes to write a game. That was a cool use of showdown.
And they're all dead.
There are also some really neat skills that Nisha has where every kill you get will extend Showdown's length a little bit. So you will kill a guy and then kill another guy and then all of a sudden get the momentum you need to keep killing and killing and killing and killing. And then before you know it, you've had turned a 6-second action skill into a 15 or 20-second action skill.
And there's also another skill that increases the damage you deal the longer you're in Showdown. So if you've got both of those skills going on, it can just it'd be like Showdown's not going to end until you've killed everyone in the room.
Oh yeah, look at exactly what we have going on right
Yeah,
here.
look at that. It's filling right up with every kill. And there's no one left.
Oh, there's that dude.
Almost. And you can sort of see the stars popping up around the screen as well. Those are when your discipline skill is active, when you're above 10 order stacks, just to let you know that you're getting all those extra buffs.
Like all cowboys, Nisha is very good with the submachine gun.
She's good with pretty much every gun.
Yep. I'm really looking forward to... I think she's probably my favorite character. I'm looking forward to playing her with pistols.
You smashed that loot pile.
Didn't even know what hit it. Air geyser.
It's a jump pad and an air crack all in one.
So convenient.
Chris could also give us a look at how Showdown works when you use iron sights. If there's anyone left when it comes back, because you can use it in normal mode or in iron sights and sort of snap between enemies.
So yeah, by flicking the control stick in Iron Sights mode, he's going from person to person at will, basically. So it's very Clint Eastwood. Bam, bam, bam! Shoot 3 separate guys really quickly.
Well, just a little glitch going on there. It doesn't normally do that, but it's cool as well with the flicking. If you've got the Riflewoman capstone where any enemy damage during Showdown explodes at the end, you can use that to manually, just flick across everyone on the battlefield to make sure they all get the explosion triggered on them.
She says yeehaw because she is a cowgirl.
Yep. Anthony, do you want to just tell us a little bit about the character dialogue in Borderlands the pre-sequel and how that differs a little bit from how it was in Borderlands 2?
That is an amazing question, Steven. And I will not. So in Borderlands the pre-sequel...
I know the answer, so I'm cool with that, but the fans might want to know.
So in Borderlands 2 and in Borderlands 1, the player characters were basically just ciphers. They kind of just said funny, or hopefully funny, battle dialogue things, but never really had much to say about the plot. They were kind of just, Gordon Freeman types who ran around and took quests from people. We found from our fans, though, that they really wanted to hear more from the characters. They weren't playing these games as something where they wanted to be fully immersed and believe they were the protagonists. They wanted to hear what their character was saying because Borderlands is so character-centric as a universe. So we did a little bit of that work in DLC for Borderlands 2 to see, okay, well, do they like it if they talk a little bit more? And people did. So we thought, okay, well, we could maybe go further on this game and actually have characters that are constantly commenting on the plot. So when you get to certain moments in the story, Handsome Jack will treat you differently depending on which character you are, and your character will respond differently depending on which character you are. So, because of the things that happen in the plot, some dark shit goes down, and Athena might feel a little bit morally ambiguous about it, but Nisha is going to be totally psyched because she is a scary monster. Claptrap is going to maybe cry and want to go home, and when Jack talks to Wilhelm, he might be very, very professional because he's just a mercenary that he hired. But when he talks to Nisha, he might try to get flirtatious because he has a crush on her, and they're going to start dating at some point. Spoilers for Borderlands 2, for the side quest in Borderlands 2 that evidently less than a fifth of our players finished because optional content. So yeah, we have jetpack scavs. They are scary, and they're armored as well, which means that they're...
You'll want a corrosive gun if you can get it.
Yeah, if you have one. I don't know if you do.
It's
fire, which is bad against metal.
Yeah.
You have frost.
The frost is good against pretty much everything. It doesn't have any inherent weaknesses. It does a little bit less to shields, but it does full damage against armor and flesh. But it gets its damage bonus when you freeze someone, because when you shatter them, you then get a big damage bonus. Like, you just crit that guy for 10,000 while it was frozen.
Exactly, yeah. Because you were iron sighting during Showdown, it automatically locks onto the crit spot of the enemy.
Yeah, so you just found a nice little combo with cryo weapons and Showdown there.
So yeah, this was just a little bit of Borderlands the pre-sequel with Nisha. I'm Anthony Birch.
I'm Steve Amanda Jones.
What's that smell?